Hello and welcome to a Fallout 4 Creation Kit scripting video. In this video I wanted to talk about a container update script to basically add items to containers on a schedule. So first I defined a few properties and I placed them in their own group here. So we have a parent quest on which we want to run this script. We also want to have a parent stage because we want to check for a specific stage, which you will see later on in the script. We need a float property. I call it hours to pass because we're going to use this to for the timer to check how many in-game hours we want to pass before the timer is reset. And we want an ID integer for the timer. In the second group, we have the containers. So in this script now, I only have one container, but you can of course use more containers if that is necessary for your mod. In the group C, I have a notification. So I want to give a notification to let the player know that there has been a change to the container. So you will have, in this case, I just want to be sure that the actual message needs to be shown. So in this case, I set it to false, but if you want it to show, then just set it to true, or just leave it like that without setting the property. And then of course it needs to get the actual message. In this case, I decided to add caps, ammo, and pre-war money. So I made groups for those because we have to define the actual object that needs to be added and the amount that needs to be added. But what I also have done in this script is make a random amount. So I want to add caps, ammo, and pre-war money, but I want to add a random amount of them to the container. So what I did is make an integer. So first I made a boolean to be sure that I actually want to use this property. So that's why I added all these booleans to the random groups and to the notification group. And then I added a integer for the minimum amount for the random and the maximum amount for the random. So here we actually start the script, and we want to start this script on the starting of the quest. So you use the event on quest init, and then we start the function for the timer. So in the function itself, we are going to get the stage that we've set above. And I did this because I want to start the timer on only a specific stage in my quest, and then we will check the hours that are going to pass. So this is where the actual timer will start with the in-game hours that we give it and the timer ID that we give it above. On this event, it will check if the timer has passed. So if the timer has passed with the ID, well, it gives the flag for a pass timer ID, and we check if the pass timer ID is the timer ID that we gave our timer. If indeed the timer has passed, then we are going to check our random values that we are going to give on the amount that we want to add. So we need to store those, so we make integers for the random, in this case for the random caps, and we do that by using the utility. So we type utility.randomInteger. You can also use this for float, for random integer, and we have the minimum amount of caps and the maximum amount of caps that we set in the group earlier. Then I'm also going to store these values in a float because I want to show them in a message. So we need to do that in a float. And if you want to show that in a message, so basically you're typing your message in the creation kit and you want a text replacement for them. So basically you type this if you want to show the float, and how that works is if you type the amount of added caps is this, and you just type that in your message in the creation kit. And as you can see here, we give properties to the message, and basically it goes in order. So you can add 9 properties, and in this case it will we have only one text replacement, so in this case it would only take like I caps, so it will show the message the amount of added caps is the actual amount that we gave to the float here. So that is how that works. So basically what we say here, if you actually want to use the random amount, then, or if you don't want to use the random amount, then we add the amount of caps that you can also specify above. So basically you can also say that this is, for example, 100, but we use the property that we gave it, so the amount of caps. And we add the caps, because that's the miscellaneous object that we defined, to the container that we also defined. So that is how that works. And then I say this float here, I caps, is the amount of caps that is actually added. And if you want the random to use, so I basically say if this boolean is true, so else, add to the container the random amount of caps that we stored here. So this is where we stored the random value. So this is the result of this random sum, and you use that in your script here. And we basically do that for caps, we do that for ammo, we do that for pre-war money. And then we check if message show is true. So if this boolean is true, then we show the message with the properties that we gave it here. And at the end of the script, you say start the function again. So start CTC timer again, and then it will go all the way back to here, and it will start the timer again and wait until the hours have passed that you told it to wait. So basically this script can be used if you want to add certain items on a regular schedule. So say you want to add several amount of caps to a container for, in every day, so say every 24 hours. And you can just say every 24 hours, give this item caps to the player. That is how it works. And yeah, if you have any questions about this script, adding things on a schedule, then just let me know and I will answer all your questions.